I had a dream last night that I had some deep space in my frunk. Let's see. Huh? And I wasn't kidding when I said I had some deep space. Hi there, welcome back to Because Tesla. My name is Eric, and today's video is brought to you by Hansshow, the same guys that did the Power Frunk and the Power Trunk. They have now come up with a foot switch for the Frunk, so I'm going to install that today and show you guys step by step on how to do that. Okay, so as I said earlier, Hansshow is sponsoring this video, and they sent this kit to me for free for installation and review. So what they've actually sent is a foot switch to control the Power Frunk. And what you get is a wiring harness, a control module with a sensor, and a set of instructions. As I go through this, if there are any specialty tools or anything else that I need, I will go over those just so you'll be prepared to do this job yourself. So first thing we're going to do is remove the whole frunk area, and I've gone over this already before in my previous video for installing the Power Frunk. So go ahead and check that link out up here and you'll see how to do that. So let's go ahead and get started getting this all removed. In 3, 2, 1. All right. The first step is we're going to try to get underneath the front bumper here to find a good sensor itself, and then we're going to have to feed the wire up through underneath the car. I'm going to try to do all of this without jacking up the front of the car, just laying down on the ground and doing this just to see how easy that would be, and I'll take you along for the ride. Okay, so if you get down underneath the car here, you'll see that there are a bunch of these push pins again, like we have all over the inside of the car. There's a bunch that go along the whole front area. So you'll just need to remove those little push pins. I use a little pry tool, something like this, to get under there and just kind of pop them loose. It's up to you. You could use a flathead screwdriver, whatever's most convenient for you. But you just need to make a space right in here where you can kind of pull this down and put your sensor right in the middle and then run the wires down through here. So let's go ahead and first of all remove a few of these and just see if we can get that to pull down to make space for the sensor. Okay, so I just got all these little push pin things pulled out. That took a while. I do have a popper tool here. These are pretty cheap on Harbor Freight, probably $3 or $4. Yeah, that was the hardest part, is just getting all those out. Now I just need to drop this, pull it down, and clean the inside part of this where I can adhere the sensor, and then run the wire down through there and then go up top and pull it through, and we'll be done with down here. Okay, so for this bumper to pull down, here's a tip that I found easier than trying to pry from underneath. Go up top here and you can stick your hand down here like this and just push down on it and it'll start to pop loose down here. And that was way easier than trying to stick a pry tool up in here and pull down. So next we're gonna just clean. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this down across here, but go underneath where your license plate is, and right in this area, we're gonna clean on the inside of that bumper. I'm just gonna use like a microfiber towel just to make sure there's no water and moisture there. The sensor does have double-sided tape, so it will stick there pretty good, but just you need to make sure it's a clean surface first. Okay, so this is the sensor. It is labeled this side up. So this area right here is where I'm gonna put the double-sided tape. If you do want to drill into your bumper, you can do that. There's a little backing plate and some screws that the kit comes with. I don't think I'm gonna drill through my brand new bumper. So yeah, I guess you could also drill into this bottom plate if you wanted to put it here somewhere. I just didn't see a really good clean place to put it unless I stick it back here. Yeah, I guess you could do that. It just seems like this gets covered with a lot of grime and dust and dirt that may interfere. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna stick it on the inside of this if I can make it fit, which I'm gonna try to see if it'll squeeze in there. If not, plan B will be to stick it here. Okay, so the sensor would go this side up. I'm just doing a test fit right now. And yeah, that looks like that's gonna fit no problem. It actually is held in pretty good with just friction by itself, so the double-sided tape will just make it stay even stronger. So I just took some scissors and trimmed the tape down to fit the sensor perfectly. So it is double-sided, so you just stick one to this and stick the other to the bumper. Okay, so I've got the adhesive stuck to the sensor itself, and what I could do is just unpeel this and stick it in right now, but I think what I'm gonna do first is wire the other end of this wire up through here and see if I can grab it and pull it through and get that all sorted out before I stick this, just to make it easier to work around underneath here. So again, I'm gonna use the top-down approach. I do see some daylight underneath when I kind of push down around there. So I'm just gonna try to feed this down through there like this, and I think that would just be the easiest way. That way I don't need any kind of fishing tape or anything to pull it through. So yeah, do that approach. It was way easy. I did it in real time, so you saw it only took like, what, 30 seconds, something like that. Once you just kind of push it through, this wire is a thicker, more rigid wire, so it does kind of slide through pretty easily down there. But yeah, once you do that, now you can stick your sensor in and connect this to the sensor. Okay guys, I found the perfect place to install the sensor. If you look up underneath here, if you were to install it right dead in the center, it's not going to fit because of this lip needs to fit inside the bumper here. And I was thinking about sticking it here, but that would be a pain also if I ever take it into Tesla service and they need to drop this. They may not know it's there and they may just rip the wire or something. There is a disconnect on the wire, so it's not a big deal right here to just unscrew that and pull it apart. But the perfect place is actually on the back side of this tab here, because it fits right here where there's plenty of room for the little push pin to go in, and also it's out of the way of this. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just know that it lines up. Let's see here. So looking at the front of the car, it lines up like with this bolt right here in your license plate. So whenever you go to open it, just line it up with your eyesight with that side of the license plate and you should be good. Okay, now that we have that all sorted out, there's really only 4 wires that you need to connect to this. You've got one that goes down to the emergency pull on the front bumper. I'll show you that. You've got one that goes to a ground somewhere, either the battery or another grounding point in the car. Then you've got your hot lead that goes to the battery itself. And then you've got the wire that goes to the control module. Just plug those in and that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you each one. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is pop apart this area here. You put your fingers in this corner and just push. And that will lift up on this edge here. You can get a pry tool and just pop it open like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the white wire that comes with the wiring harness and you're going to go inside the car and route it through just like we did this one with the other previous install. So like that. So they give you a whole bunch of wire here. You can just clip off whatever you don't need. Get your wire strippers and remove the sheathing. You're going to connect this to the wire that's got the red label on it. There's actually already a hole in here, but you just basically need to wrap this around this post here somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this into that hole and then twist it together. And then to weatherproof that, I'm going to get some electrical tape and just wrap around where I twisted this together here. Once you pop the cap back into the bumper, we can now move up here and proceed with the rest of the wiring. Now we're back at the top of the car here where we can finish the wiring, and I know this looks like a jumbled mess, but trust me, it's very easy and it's laid out really nicely here. This is the plug that goes into the control module, so you're just going to plug that into the little box that I'll show you in a minute. And then there's really only 2 other wires. There's the red one that we connect to the battery, and then there's the black one that we connect to the ground. Now, Hansshow recommends that you ground this on the negative terminal of the battery, which is fine. You can absolutely do that, no problems at all. But what I'm gonna do is plug mine into the other ground that I used for the Power Frunk, which is right here. Just for simplicity's sake, I think it's easier this way. Either way, I don't like connecting just a loose wire to either one, so I'm going to put a little spade connector on this to make it more neat and professional looking. After that, then we just wire in the battery, and I'll show you how to do that. Plug everything in and put everything back together. So for that grounding terminal, I've got a little electrical connector kit here where you can pick out whatever you want to use. Probably going to go with something kind of like what's on the other one, like this, that I can just kind of slide under that bolt. You could use the full circle one, but that would require removing the bolt completely first, so this just makes it easier to slide underneath the bolt. So I just took my crimpers and crimped this down on there. I ran some heat shrink up underneath this little sheathing here just to make it more water resistant, since we're underneath the engine here where moisture can get. There we go. This is a 10 millimeter. We're just going to loosen it. Just enough that we can slide our new little spade underneath. And then we just tighten it back down. That. Okay, the next thing you want to do is take your wire stripper there, strip down a little piece here, and you're going to go to where the fuse is. Now this is a very important thing to know. You see there's two legs on this fuse here. One goes to where the sensor is and the other goes to the battery. Always put your lead wire in the post where it's going to the sensor, because that way if there's ever a problem with the sensor, it will cut off where the fuse is before it goes to the battery and cut power. If you put it on the other side, it'll keep constant power to this because it's going before the fuse. So you want it to go after the fuse. So you just stick it down in a little leg like that, and then you push your fuse down on top of it. So like this, you take your fuse, there you go. And that is that. So this is your controller module. It looks like this, and this is the last piece of the wiring that you need to plug in. So you just kind of match this up. It is all plug and play. So it'll make a click sound. If you've got one of the newer Hansshow kits, it does come with a rubber boot that protects your main module for the Power Frunk. Mine is an older one, so it did not come with that rubber sleeve that everything slides into to protect it from moisture and dust and dirt. But I did keep the static-free bag that it came in, and I'm just using it instead. So what I'm going to do is actually place this in there with that unit, and then tape everything shut. So to get this to work, you really just wave your foot underneath the sensor. And that's how it works. Does the same thing to close it. So that's it, we're done. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or issues. Just put them in the comments below and I'll respond as best I can. Hansshow has been kind enough to give us a 15% discount if you use my code BECAUSETESLA. I'll put that link in the description below. You can use the code, save some money on the entire thing. You could get the Frunk, you could get the trunk, you could get just the foot switch for either one, whatever you want. 15% off, BECAUSETESLA. Looking out for you guys.
You big dummy.
And if you're in the market to buy a Tesla for yourself, I also put my referral code that will give you 1,000 miles of free supercharging, which comes in really handy. And if you want to buy accessories for your Tesla, I put my link and coupon code for Abstract Ocean where you can get 15% off there as well. As always, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you like the video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you didn't like the video, still hit that like button. Take care, guys. Bye.